What's going on, y'all? Wood Talk Sports back again with another video. And today we are doing Combine winner and losers. The Combine just ended last week, and I thought, we did our Combine mock draft. We might as well do a Combine winners and losers. Now, this is going to be the first of two parts where we're going to go on skill position and edge rusher, and then the next one will be offensive line and defensive line. This one, when I separate edge and D line, I mean that edge rushers are more linebacker built guys that played off the edge compared to defensive ends that were still like 280, 290 pounds, guys like um, Darius Robertson from Missouri, who is a DN, but he's 292 pounds. So I don't really want to compare his stats to a guy like Dallas Turner, who is 200, like 250, 240. Um, don't want to really compare those two because I feel the body types are really different. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna start off with our first winner of the combine, and that is going to be Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. Now, I think out of every corner, he had the most impressive uh, NFL draft combine. You look at his stats here. Um, 4.33 40-yard dash, which looked great. 1.51 10-yard split, which is very impressive. For an example, Xavier Worthy, who put up the new combine record, I believe had a 1.49 10-yard split. So he's still super fast. He's going to be able to hold with those breakaway speed guys. And then on top of that, a 38-inch vertical, and then a 10-foot 2-inch broad jump. And then here's my biggest thing. I've had Quinyon Mitchell going to the Jags a lot because I've been saying they need a physical corner. 20 20 reps on the bench as a corner. He's 195 pounds and he benched 225 20 times. So he just basically proved the fact that he is a physical guy and he's got strength behind him. And he's going to be able to bully wide receivers off the line if they, test him off the line. You watch his film, and especially for me, when I watch his film, the physicality he plays with is one of my favorite things to watch. And now that we know he has 20 bench press reps under him, just proving more and more, time and time out, that he is going to be able to be physical. And he's a strong guy, and I mean he's fast too with the 4.33. So that's Quinyon Mitchell, my first winner. I'm trying to make these not as long, so my next winner obviously is going to be the guy that just broke the 40 record, Xavier Worthy out of Texas. Undersized guy, only weighed in at 165, which is a little bit of a concern to a lot of people probably. I mean, you look at Devontae Smith was 170, however he did win Heisman coming out of college. The 98 athleticism score is absurd. Number one in combine wide receivers. The 81 production score, fifth in wide receivers. People tend to look at Xavier Worthy, and a lot of people don't really recognize. He has the fast speed. Yeah, he has the 4.21, the 1.49 split. He also had a 41-inch vert, so he's going to be able to jump up and get a football. And then a near 11 foot broad, which is also very impressive. But my big thing is, you look at the way this dude runs routes too. He's so surgical with his routes. He's so good with his routes too, and that's something that I think is getting overshadowed now since he just broke the combine 40 record with a 4.21. That people aren't even realizing, hey, this dude's also a fantastic wide receiver who at Texas thrived. So he definitely just ran himself into a first round pick. He's going to be a first round pick in my opinion, and he'll probably be a later one too. So he'll get to go to a good team and give his skills to a good team. So that's Xavier Worthy. My next winner, I've got a lot of winners, is his teammate Adonai Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell at 6'2", 205, the tall physical jump ball guy at Texas last year. Scored a great athleticism score, and I mean, look at these stats too. 39.5-inch vert, 11 foot 4-inch broad jump, 4.34 40-yard dash. It's like in my opinion, I like Adonai Mitchell a lot more than Worthy because he may not be the combine record holder, and he jumped low. He jumped not as long, not as high. He jumped farther, and he's also known for being able to be a jump ball getter, and he's known to be able to basically do every aspect of the game. I think, in my opinion, at Texas, he was fantastic at Georgia when he was at Georgia. Transferred to Texas, was fantastic at Texas, and this a big physical guy when he jumps up and gets a football, running a 4.34. I mean, that's like putting two pieces of the puzzle, the final two pieces together. In my opinion, you put him on a good team. And there's going to be a lot of teams that need wide receivers. So he's going to either be on one of those middle teams or late first round teams. You put him on a team that needs a jump ball guy, like how I've mocked him to the Bills twice. And the Bills are going to thrive with this dude. Josh Allen's going to be fantastic with this dude because Josh Allen slings the football. He loves to he's a gunslinger. He loves to just let it fly. And Adonai Mitchell's going to be a guy who's just going to get under it and go get that ball. So I was very impressed by Adonai Mitchell at the Combine. Now, our last wide receiver for Combine winners is the LSU wide receiver. Is going to be Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 2 at LSU behind Malik Nabers. I've had a fantastic season at LSU. Had Heisman winner Jaden Daniels at his QB spot. And he had fantastic Combine. 4.33, only 11 reps on the bench press, but at least he was willing to go do the bench press. He's a wide receiver that's tall and 209. I wouldn't say he's the biggest jump ball getter. He can go get a jump ball, but he's not the biggest jump ball getter in my opinion. I think the big thing is his speed for being 6'3", running a 4.33 at 6'3". You put muscle on him. That's going to be dangerous. I mean, he's one of the fastest, I think, to be 6'3" over wide receiver and run like a 4.33. He's like one of the fastest times for a 6'3" plus receiver. And then a good vertical jump and a good broad jump. He's 6'3", as I said. I've said that so many times. But that's like such a big thing is the height and the speed combined makes a good player. And he's going to be very valuable on a team. I've mocked him to the Cardinals last time. I mocked him to the Texans. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be good in the NFL. I mean, LSU receivers are always good, it seems like. So that's my final wide receiver winner. I have 5 more winners still. I know. We've got our first running back, Isaac Guerendo. He not the most the most production in college, but his combine was fantastic, and he definitely got eyes popping. I mean, look at all of these: 4.33 40, 41.5-inch vert for a guy. He's 6 foot 221 too. He's not a small back. He's a pretty decently sized back. Almost an 11-foot broad jump. Under 7-second cone drill. Which should be expected from a running back, but 4.15 shuttle, 99 athleticism score. I think the biggest thing that pops out to me is, I mean, I would have loved to see him bench press. A guy that's not on my list, but Blake Corum benching more, I believe more than Joe Alt, which was crazy to me, or maybe around the same. But Guerendo, for the 4.33 and a 1.55 split, and then the 41.5-inch vert, he really showcased that he's got insane athleticism and that he's going to be a good, mid to late round pick for an NFL squad. My second running back that I have as a winner is going to be Jalen Wright from Tennessee. Jonathan Brooks from Texas is pretty much everybody's like guaranteed RB1. And Jalen Wright, who's been the RB2, basically came out and said, Look at what I'm doing, and this why shouldn't I be the RB1? I've got athleticism. You give me the right coaching, I'm gonna be the best running back out of this class. That's basically what he proved with the 4.38 dash, same 10-yard split as the previous guy, 38-inch vert, 11-foot 2 broad jump. I mean, it speaks for itself, man. And then the second best athleticism score which is really all you can look at in the combine is what they did athleticism wise. You can look at the drills and say, yeah, okay, this guy did good in certain drills. This guy did good and bad in this drill. Which I have a guy on here who is one of my guys that did not do good in a drill. But Jalen Wright just had a good combine, just a great combine. My three last guys, they're all defensive players, and we're starting off with edge rusher Dallas Turner, who ran a 4.46. I came out and said this dude is the most athletic player I've ever seen from edge rusher, one of the most athletic at least, and he's good already. It's not like he's an athletic project; he's already good. So 4.46, jumping over 40 inches, 10'7" broad jump as well. There's a reason in my last mock I had the Cardinals trading back after the Patriots take Marvin Harrison, trading back so a team can get a quarterback, and then Dallas Turner falls in their lap at 8. They get draft capital and get Dallas Turner, and then get a wide receiver like I gave him Brian Thomas Jr. later in the first round with their 27th pick, maybe trading up with it. It's just Dallas Turner is an absolute stud. Cardinals have started to say they're willing to trade back from 4 if they don't have their number one options there, which I'm assuming their number one option is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. Dallas Turner was just a stud, man, and there's a reason he's going to be the first defensive player off the board and probably the only defensive player out of inside the top 10 to get drafted. Now, my next player is a fringe first rounder, in my opinion, especially after his performance. Is going to be Peyton Wilson. A lot of people might be thinking I'm basing it strictly off the 40. I'm basing it off of athleticism, which, I mean, pretty much directly correlates with the 40. And he ran a 4.43 as a 230-pound linebacker. That is very, very impressive. A 4.43. And then, the vertical and the broad, pretty good for a linebacker, I'd say. Off-ball linebacker, 34.5. Broad jump, maybe a little bit more. But also in the drills, too, I will say I watched his drills. I watched day one the most out of every day. I was busy the other days. But Peyton Wilson was very impressive to me, and I really liked watching him at the combine. And I think he definitely rises his draft stock a little bit. But do I think he's still a first rounder? Not right now. I don't think he's a first rounder still. But he's definitely gonna be eye popping to a lot of teams that need a linebacker. Maybe like Dallas gets him in the first round because we've seen Dallas jump up the board for a prospect that they love. Now, our last winner of today's video is going to be none other than the guy I talked about, Chop Robinson. Now, he didn't have the best of stats honestly throughout his career, if you watched my draft profile video. But I did talk about his athleticism and how he's going to have a good combine. 4.48 for a guy that's 254, 6'3", 34.5, 10-foot, 8-inch broad jump. 4.25 20-yard shuttle for a 254-pound dude is very, very, very impressive. And Chop Robinson really turned my head. That's what got him into the first round of my last mock draft. So I was very impressed by him, and this is what I wanted to see out of him. So Chop Robinson is our final winner of today's video. Now we will move into our 5 losers. And starting off with our quarterback loser, it is going to be Spencer Rattler. Now, I mean, Rattler didn't look great at the combine. I mean, he was like one of the only guys to do every single thing, and he just didn't look great in all of them. I mean, he was the slowest quarterback at almost a 5. 32 vert, I mean, the 9-foot broad, like, the athleticism test didn't look great, and then in the QB drills, he didn't do great either. I don't think he did very good. So Rattler was probably my biggest loser, besides probably the next guy that I go with. Just because I was not impressed. I was expecting Rattler to go out and showcase his skills in the combine. Didn't see what I expected. So our next loser is going to be running back from Notre Dame, Audric Estime. I mean, he is a bigger back at 5'11", 220, but he ran a 4.71. And for comparison, Isaac Guerendo from Louisville ran a 4.33 as 6'220". So I'm not gonna give Estime the benefit of the doubt for being a big back when he tested pretty bad. I mean, yeah, he's got the strength, the 23 bench press reps, but 4.71 is still pretty slow, and that's the thing that I'm kind of looking at. I think he was one of the better producing backs in college, so I don't want anybody to like overshoot this. I just think he didn't do well in the combine compared to most running backs. Um, don't get me wrong, I like him. I like Audric Estime. I think he's going to be a good, serviceable back in the future. Maybe a rotation guy or a platoon guy, as that's what it's called. But Estime, just not the greatest combine, so he's one of my losers. My next loser is going to be Keon Coleman from Florida State. Now, he dropped down my board a little bit. The vertical was really the only thing that kind of wowed me, and the broad jump, I guess you could say. But I was expecting that. He's a jump ball guy at 6'3", 213. He's not the biggest jump ball guy from his own college because they got Johnny Wilson, who is like 6'6". But Coleman, I wouldn't say is as much of a loser because of what he did. The 4.61 40 wasn't very appealing. The 10-yard split was good. It just means he doesn't have that deep ball, deep route speed. My biggest concern was the eye-popping stats from other receivers in the combine that he wasn't able to keep up with. The only thing he really kept up with was the vertical, and I guess you could say the broad. I like Keon Coleman, though. He's not, in my opinion, not a first-round pick anymore. So he dropped down my board at least. We'll see how it goes. If he has a good pro day or something. But as of now, he is no longer a first-round pick in my eyes. So Keon Coleman was one of my losers. My next loser, a lot of Texas pass catchers had a great day. This one wouldn't say he did. Ja'Tavion Sanders, their tight end, he ran a 4.69, which isn't terrible for a tight end. But I wouldn't say he was much of a loser because I think he did well for tight end wise. He wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more out of Ja'Tavion Sanders, actually. But, I mean, he kind of got overshadowed by everyone else from Texas, you know. So it's more of a not a loser from his scoring. I think he could have seen a better 40 from him. He is a very big guy though. I thought he was a little bit faster than 4.69, but he was just the most underwhelming-ish Texas skill position on offense. So Ja'Tavion Sanders, not the biggest loser that I have. I think he's probably the least of a loser, probably that one of those neutral guys. I just needed more guys to talk about in the loser section. So Ja'Tavion Sanders, unfortunately, you're going to be marked as one of the draft combine losers, even though I think you did just fine. And finally, we've got Bralen Trice from Washington. Now, 4.72 was just not great because he's about the same size as Dallas Turner. And yes, Dallas Turner is an absolute freak athlete, and Bralen Trice is not that freak athlete like Dallas Turner. I'm going to have to put him on here for the 4.72 and the 1.65, and then not really doing anything else. He looked okay in the drills, but, I mean, he nearly ran slower than Brandon Fisk, who we will talk about in the next episode of Combine Winners and Losers, the defensive tackle from Florida State, who ran a 4.78. Bralen Trice's athleticism just did not wow anybody, in my opinion, and that's why he's dropping down boards, and he dropped down my board, no longer a first pick in mine. He hasn't been a first pick for a couple mock drafts, but don't want to hate on Bralen Trice too much because I like the Washington guys, all the guys that go to Washington, and I mean, you can have a bad combine and still be a good player. You look at Tom Brady for an example. Now, I'm not comparing an edge rusher who did bad to Tom Brady, or anybody, but combine doesn't always speak all. We'll see if he goes and does like a little pro day thing at Washington, but that's my last loser of the video. Now, that is going to be it for me, on Draft Combine Winners and Losers Skill Player Edition. And let me know what you guys thought about this. If you agree, disagree. The only one that I could understand why people would disagree with for losers is probably Jatavion Sanders, who, yeah, I said I thought he did fine. Wasn't the biggest. He wasn't a winner. Wasn't really that big of a loser. But just with the fact that the Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell really got the eyes popping, that's why I gave him one of those spots. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm trying to hit 100 before we reach the end of March. I am currently at 85, I believe. We are so close. We're right there. We need 15 more. I'd appreciate it if you guys just press the subscribe button. It's completely free, and it helps me out a ton because this is something I want to do for the long future. Just keep making content for you guys and updating you guys on sports. And we have baseball coming soon, so we'll have that soon. Obviously, we'll have the O-line, D-line winners and losers, and that is going to wrap it up for me. I will see y'all in the next one when we talk about the O-line and the D-line, and get ready for some more Madden franchise because it's coming soon. All right. Peace out, y'all.